So, this is not the way of a mu'min, of a person who has iman, but nafs and shaitan makes a person go towards this end. Because this is not the way that a person of iman should act, behave. But the believer, the mu'min, whether he sees or not, whether he feels or doesn't feel. But if the announcement has come from the Imam of the Prophet ﷺ, then that's it. We believe and we know that this is a fact. The person who has iman like this, then inshallah he doesn't leave any good deed. These are those people who leave no good deed unturned. The Nabi ﷺ said this, okay, how can I leave this action? I have to do this action. Okay, let's do dua that our iman becomes like this. Let's do dua that our iman becomes like this. That there's so much barakah in this journey. Oh, how can I leave this journey? I will not leave this journey. Yes, look at this majlis, this gathering. That we are sat, there's a masjid, there's a roof, there's electricity. But what did Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? That when a majlis, a people gather together for the dhikr of Allah, Allah's remembrance, then the angels gather together, so many of them, that the gap between the heavens and the earth fills with the angels. And those who have yaqeen on this, then the rest of their life, they will never leave dhikr. Even if their life is ending, they will never leave dhikr. That is such a great action. This night we need to see though, who is close to Allah. Which servant is close to Allah? Who came, who tried, who struggled all year long, who broke his nafs and suppressed his desires and worked hard all year long, that this deed will get me close to Allah. And regularly that person is steadfast in his deeds throughout the life and the year until Laylatul Qadr. He didn't leave that amal throughout the whole year. Will Allah Ta'ala invite that person first, or those who carry out drama acts and pretend? Isn't it, Haji sir? فَلَيْسَ clear. مَنْ رَغَبَ عَنْ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. Now listen carefully here now. That this statement reminds us of fasting and the month of Ramadan. That Allah Ta'ala's Nabi Sallallahu said that person who leaves my sunnah, مَنْ رَغَبَ عَنْ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. The person who goes against my sunnah, jokes against my sunnah, leaves my sunnah, discards my sunnah, criticizes my sunnah, forces others not to practice my sunnah, demotes my sunnah, debates about my sunnah, opens books to prove that sunnah is not necessary, and speeches and says there's no benefit in sunnah, or it won't benefit you at this time, runs away from my sunnah, hates my sunnah. All of this comes under the banner of being against the sunnah. Look at this point. People who criticize, mock against the sunnah, fight against the sunnah, quarrel over the sunnah, ridicule the sunnah, and forget about us as individuals. Person who thinks that, the sunnah is not necessary, dislikes the sunnah, mocks the sunnah, and jokes against people, a person who's following the sunnah, and argues about the sunnah. And says the sunnah is not necessary, speaks bad about the sunnah. My brothers, is this not happening today? Is the ummah not doing this today? Openly we're doing this today. Openly. Blatantly. Do you understand? Blatantly? Without any fear, any hesitation, Allah has announced this to us. That awareness and shame has gone. We have no shame. We say, what sunnah are you talking about? Sunnah? Why do you have to follow sunnah? Iman does not stay in the heart if a person just says that. How can iman stay? How? Person who doesn't have iman on the sunnah, then if you say, why do you have to follow sunnah, follow the Prophet ﷺ? But the Prophet ﷺ said, فَمَنْ رَغَبَ عَنْ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. I will have no link with the person, he's not from me. 100,000 people say, I'm an ummati, I have marches, debates. That's it. So the khatam of Bukhari, the end of Bukhari, where does it start from? Niyyah. Intention, pure intention, that there should be sincerity in your niyyah. Where will ikhlas come from? Tazkiyah. When you do tazkiyah, this is the first message. And number two, what's been told in the akhir, at the end, subhanallah, that the whole path from the beginning to the end, when you study Sahih Bukhari, and you will need a certain assistance, and that is the dhikr of Allah. And that will continue, and that's the khatam of Bukhari. Do you understand what Sahih Bukhari? This is Bukhari. That person, Laylatul Qadr belongs to that person who tonight, until today, who looks back at his life and analyzes and sees that I've spent my life against the sunnah, away from the sunnah, apparently, physically from top to bottom, not once, but not just physically, but batin included. The inner state, the soul included. Allah Ta'ala has announced, the Prophet ﷺ has announced that zahir wa batin, spiritually and physically. If your batin is not correct, there's haram and sins and kharafat and evil, then that person is not an ummati of the Prophet ﷺ. 4 people have been explained, the example that they will be forgiven on this night. Those 4 especially that they have been given the example, they won't be forgiven this night. And wherever you see somebody doing the dhikr of Allah, do musafa with that person, shake his hands, and these are the words of the hadith that I'm telling you. Do musafa, greet those people, shake their hands. Let's go towards this hadith and see what is the reason for this. Whose night is this? This is the night of the Prophet ﷺ. This is his night, isn't it? Yes. and we will have to do tawbah from being detached from him. We have to become ummati today. So what standard and flag does he put down? Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, a flag. And what color is it? Green. And who has this color from all of the prophets? Whose sign is this? The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is this not the case? So this green color flag will make a decision today amongst the ummatis. Those people are ummatis, who are the ummatis and who are not. The person who is a follower of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tonight he is successful and he can succeed in his flag. He has attained the flag. And on the night of Laylatul Qadr, he said that I've seen the dream on this night. And he gave a description, and a new point that he brought out was a very open point and made clear this hadith to me. That he said the angels will not even go past the doors or the front of the houses of the people who are sinful. And Allah's wali said, I saw this in the dream that he told me, Wallahu alam, Allah knows best. He said what occurs is that the dunya becomes like a ball, like a bubble, and it becomes like a ball for those angels. And those angels who have that duty, in a few hours they have to fulfill the duties, and within a few hours Jibreel alayhi salam sends them out and disperses them. They have a duty, they go to the houses looking for the ummatis, and some houses on the front they put a red mark, and on some houses on the front they put a green mark. He said, I was watching this, subhanAllah, what's happening? What's going on here? In those houses that have a red mark, Allah Ta'ala's la'na and curse is descending on that home, is sent to that home. Those are the people who on the night of Laylatul Qadr, they have not purified their lives, they're carrying out sinful actions, kharafat and evil and haram and unlawful actions. Allah's walis, their ihsan, their favor, is it not enough for us that when they've told us something, that we are here today, we're doing dhikr in Bolton, in this town. Hazrat Ali Murtaza rahmatullah alayhi, due to his efforts and his sadaqah, great personality in Shaykh. But today those marks will be put on those homes, and that time we see the lana. And he said that such lana descends on the house that we don't know what's going on inside. People, they are carrying out actions of immorality. But the houses that have green marks placed on the front, such noor emanates from the house, such light and blessings and noor. Great result. So this continues until Fajr. After Fajr, then Jibreel alayhi salam comes, okay, have you distributed? He said, yes, totally, we've given the good news. Just like you said, that this person, we saw him doing dhikr, we did musafa with those people. And this person was doing ibadah, was praying salah, we did musafa with that person. It was a man or woman, we went to all their houses, we did musafa, we greeted them, we met them. They felt that today we've attained Laylatul Qadr. They said, okay, fine, that's it, end of our duty. So then they put their wings down and they put themselves together, and then they said, we have to present all of this report to Allah, those who have done tawbah. Tawbah from what? That Allah Ta'ala requested tawbah from us tonight, not tawbah from salah, not from any other action, just one thing Allah Ta'ala wanted tawbah from. That what should you do to your zahir and batin? External, internal, that you should